So in my last video, I showed you how to mix with one deck on any DJ software if for any reason one of your turntables or CDJs is no longer usable. It's a simple use of the instant double feature. But what if you're not DJing with a laptop? What if you're playing standalone on CDJs or maybe even on vinyl? Well, today's lesson is how to mix with just one CDJ in standalone. Standalone meaning no laptop with DJ software, with the DJ gear. The media, the portable media, whether it's a CD, vinyl record, or a USB device, is connected directly to the gear. This applies to when you're only using two CDJs and a mixer, and one CDJ goes down due to an accident like a drink spill or anything else that could happen in a DJ booth. I say only two CDJs because if you had 3 or 4 CDJs, you would have redundancy to use the available ones. All you need is a mixer with one very specific beat effect. Now, the reason I created the previous lesson about one deck going down is that it reminded me of when movement on one side of my face stopped working due to a condition called Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. I explained what it is in my previous video, which I'll leave the link right here. But at the time I'm recording this video, I am just 6 weeks and 1 day since it started. While I still can't smile, this is all I get, I, however, have some small signs of improvement. My left eyebrow is now slightly moving up and down. I actually do feel muscle movement there, really tiny. My left eye is no longer getting watery, which means my eyelids are fully closing and it doesn't get dry. That dryness actually made it really difficult to stare at a screen or when I drive. And while I don't have my smile, my face is recovering some symmetry. And yeah, it could be a really scary thing that happens, especially because it happens so suddenly with a very slow recovery. So in addition to spreading awareness, I started a charity called Ramsay-Hunt Syndrome Awareness, which supports the National Organization for Rare Disorders. And they specifically study and research Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. So DJs, if you could click that donate button either below or to the right of your screen on this video and spare $1, $2, $5, you could be helping someone in the future recover a smile that they lost on their face. My content sponsor, Direct Music Service, has also pledged to make a donation as well. Anything you can contribute to the cause is greatly appreciated. So back to the lesson. The one important thing you will very much need in order to execute one deck playback is the specific beat effect on your mixer. On the DJM A9, it's called roll, which is short for loop roll. Roll is often used as a rhythmic stutter effect, kind of like what happens in drums, like a snare roll. So I'm going to set this to a 1/4 beat duration. I'm going to assign it to channel 3, and I'm just going to play this track and trigger the roll. But when you expand its beat duration all the way to the maximum of 8 beats, you can actually create a loop of the playing track right on the mixer. And once you create the full loop, you can then use the channel assign to move the loop to another channel, freeing your one working deck to load and mix in a new song. Now you have to be very careful because you don't want to accidentally move it to another channel when the crossfader has the channel off or when the channel fader is down. So say I was back on channel 3, I'm moving it to channel 2. You don't want that fader down. You want to make sure that's on. See? Now you're on channel 2. And also be super careful that you don't accidentally click the beat effects button to turn off. I have a habit of always turning off the effects button, so make sure to pay attention, otherwise you're going to lose the loop roll. Also, with this possible with any perfectly gridded music, it's much more effective when you're playing house music or techno music where the rhythm is repetitive, so it's not obvious you're looping a section in order to mix. Other things you could do with a loop roll, you do have full EQ control, but you don't have trim because the level of the volume is set. You do have the ability to use your color effects. And also, you have the ability to cut it with a crossfader as well. Okay, so let's show you how to do this. Select loop roll, and we're going to set it to a beat duration of 8 beats. Select channel effects to beat effects channel 3, because that is the working CDJ. We're going to pretend that this one got spilled on by a drunk club patron. And we're going to put the level depth knob to 50%, keep the effect off. And selecting a good loop, you want to select a loop that sounds exactly the same start to finish. Otherwise, it's going to sound funny when it loops. So I'm going to show you what a funny sounding loop sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See the little break? Sounds a little funny, so I'm going to turn this off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now listen to this new loop. It sounds really clean. Not that many changes. There's a little bit, but it's barely visible or audible. So we're gonna turn off the CDJ. If you have a good loop, that means you can turn this off. Now we're gonna bring up channel 2. Bring channel 2. We're gonna bring this loop, and by selecting a new channel for the effects, we're moving the loop to that channel. Mind you, you can put this on any channel you want. If you want to put it on channel 1 or channel 4. See? We're going to put it on channel 2. Just to make it easy so you visually remember this was the deck that you were using. Now I'm going to load a new song. Get that BPM match, and we're going to bring this in. Make sure not to accidentally turn off your beat effects, because if you turn this off, you lose the whole loop, okay? You can EQ the loop roll if you wanted. Now we're done using the loop roll. We're gonna bring this back. Actually, I'm gonna keep this off just to show you something on the bass. We can turn off the effect, and we're gonna bring the channel select back to channel 3, and we're gonna capture a new loop. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we captured a new loop, and we know this because we can turn off that CDJ. Okay? Once again, bring the fader to channel 2 open, and then move the loop from channel 3 to channel 2. Now notice the bass was off because I forgot the bass knob, or I intentionally did that, all the way down, but you can just bring it back up. You're gonna run into little things like that. Just remember not to turn off the loop, okay? Now I am going to shut down the channel for channel 3 and pick another song. I'm gonna create another loop here, and I'm gonna play this and mix it in. This loop has a crash, so I'm just gonna beat jump ahead to get rid of that crash. Okay, so pretty much we mixed 3 songs together using the loop roll. So if you're ever in a jam, you can use this technique to mix on ONE CDJ. Now, I do highly advise to practice this at home, because if you are at a gig attempting this, I guarantee you, you're gonna accidentally turn off the effect at some point and stop all the music, or click into a channel by moving the loop roll into the wrong channel, or you didn't capture a loop and you moved the loop roll and nothing happened. So I highly advise practicing this at home until you're comfortable. In fact, a good way to practice it is to do an entire set like this, which is something that I said that I might actually do with the instant double. Maybe I should try this with this. What do you guys think?